It is that time of year again, March Madness, which means we're going to do another Artificial Intelligence March Madness tournament here in DCS. This is going to be guns only again like it was last year. This will be the third year that I've done this. I try to do something a little bit different every year, but last year I found that including helicopters and making it guns only made it a little bit more interesting for me. This year the only difference I think is going to be that I will be flying the F-16 in the tournament against artificial intelligence, and I'm going to see if I can make it through to the end. So there are a couple of other little changes that we'll talk about as we look at the bracket here. So our bracket this year is a little bit different. This is all based on how the aircraft, the modules scored last year. So the KA-50 won last year, so it is the number one seed. And I did take some liberties here. For instance, I threw in the P-47, and I just threw it in last place. It doesn't deserve to be last place. So it's actually going to have, well, I thought it would have an easier road, but the F-86 was second last year. So we'll see. That actually might be an interesting matchup. But the P-47 just got thrown in on the bottom of the pack. The other sort of audible that I called, I didn't see the reason to have two FW-190s in, so the A8 made it further last year than the D9, so I took the D9 out and put the J11 in. Now I'm not for sure if that's better or worse because the J11 is essentially an Su-27, but anyway, I wanted to throw the J11 in just for fun, just to include it. I thought about including two very what I consider to be pretty good mods. One has been around a lot longer and had a lot more updates than the other, and that's the A4 Skyhawk mod. And then I thought about throwing in the A29B Super Tucano mod as well, even though it's pretty new and still a little bit rough, just because I love it that much. But I decided, no, let's not do that. Let's leave this to the official modules, so to speak. So this is the bracket, and we'll go through it real quick. And again, I've recolored this F-16 because that's the one I'm going to be flying against AI. Um, I don't really love this opening this opening matchup because the M2000C has given me problems before, but I think that I can do it. So we'll see how that goes. My goal is to win the tournament, but there's going to be there's some potential difficulty here. F-18 is in the mix. F-14 is always difficult, although I feel like I can take both of those in the F-16 fairly easily. I've not fought against the MiG-19, but there's a potential matchup in the future there. MiG-21, MiG-15, those are all very difficult to do guns-only fights with. MiG-29 is very difficult. Obviously, you could run into any of these aircraft, and quite a few of them will be difficult. And, of course, you can never rule out the World War II warbirds because they turn so well against something like a jet, and they're slow, but you've got to be careful how you utilize your benefits, your strengths against a slower warbird that can actually stay in the air quite a lot longer than you can. So we'll see how that goes. This is double elimination, guns only. The AI aircraft will be set to ace in every case. I'm going to do a little bit more with waypoints and what I can't advanced waypoints just to try to see if I can force people to fight a little bit more, but it is difficult whenever you've got what is essentially a transport helicopter or even an attack chopper in some cases against a jet, a fighter jet, and it's also difficult when you have ground attack aircraft. A couple that always kind of surprise me Where'd they go? The L39, yeah, that one, I think it fought every time last year. The AJS 37 and the Harrier, the AV8B, they really surprise me because they'll dump their gun pods in the ocean or just wherever. They'll just dump them and then start turning. And the AJS 37, well, you don't really, I don't know, you could, in guns only, you could try to run away from the F-14, but the AI doesn't really treat it like it's a guns only kind of a thing anyway. But they really surprise me because they just always dump their gun pods and don't even try. So we'll see if we can force them to a little bit more this year. And anyway, here's the bracket. If you want to fill this bracket out, nobody's ever done it in the past. I've had two people that know me really well that have filled it out in the past just for fun, but nobody on YouTube has ever filled one of these out. If you want to fill one out, feel free. This year, I thought about potentially trying to make a prize, but I just haven't gotten around to messing with it. So, and I'm still losing money at YouTube anyway. So I'm not going to do any prizes, but I'm hoping next year that I can throw some prizes in the mix for people if they want to submit a bracket. Okay, I don't want to make this too long, but I will reiterate, if you want to fill out this bracket, I would be happy to send you one of these through email. So just let me know in the comments and I can give you my email address, or you can give me my your email address or whatever, and yeah, something like that. I don't know what I just said, but we'll exchange email addresses uh and we will get you this bracket so that you can fill it out and send it back to me. And stay tuned. This should be fun. I'm going to give it a week or so. Thanks for watching, and thanks for your support.